Disgraced pro wrestler and infamous pervert Joey Ryan has hit rock bottom, and today we're gonna show you what that rock bottom looks like, okay? Hey, how's it going? I'm your friendly neighborhood gatekeeper, Dan Frampton, and maybe you're not sure who Joey Ryan is. But today, we're going to tell you who Joey Ryan is, okay? He's this guy over here. He used to play a pervert character in wrestling. He never really got super famous, okay? So don't think that this guy was like WWE level famous time wrestler guy. This guy was just like, the biggest he got was on Impact, on TNA, okay? He was more or less an indie guy, but he was one of the richest and highest paid indie guys because he was a gimmick wrestler, and his gimmick was mad over, okay? Joey Ryan was famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan. He would flip people with his dicks, okay? And I have no idea how we didn't see back then that this guy was going to be the creepiest pervert ever. He would actually grab lollipops, okay, from his crotch, put it in his mouth, and then put it in someone else's mouth, okay? That is disgusting type behavior. Now, I'm pretty sure his gear was rigged so the lollipop wouldn't actually touch his junk for the worked lollipop spot, okay? But looking back at that, being like, this is the kind of stuff that this guy thought was entertaining for a crowd, and it got over, and everybody was loving it, but it turned out he was a bit of a freak man because he got like exposed for a whole bunch of really bad things, okay? There was this whole Me Too movement. Everybody knows about the Me Too movement, but in the wrestling world, there was the speaking out movement, and Joey Ryan, so many people came out about Joey Ryan. Now, I don't want to get into all the allegations and all the different victims. You can go down that rabbit hole yourself if that's something you want to investigate, but that's not what this video is all about. Joey Ryan was then absolutely disgraced forever. Before he was disgraced forever, like I said, he was one of the most famous independent wrestlers going, and there was this event called All In. And this is an historic event. Nobody thought that this event could happen. What happened was, wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer said, I bet that these guys couldn't even sell out 10,000 tickets. And then Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they were like, bet, we're gonna do that. And they did that. And on that card was Joey Ryan. And we'll be coming back to this event. This is a very pivotal event that happened in September of 2018. But like I was saying, the speaking out allegations came out, and Joey Ryan lost his job that he had at Impact, okay? And of course, they didn't want this guy around anymore. And everybody was like, okay, he was such a freak on the independent scene, and then his gimmick change when he came to Impact was that of like, I don't know, like a prude. He went the complete opposite direction with his character. But then it came out like this. It was like, oh, that old gimmick wasn't actually a gimmick. You're actually a freak boy that did freak things and hurt a whole bunch of people along the way. You're bad. You got to get out of here. You're the worst news possible, Joey Ryan. He was also the booker, promoter, and wrestler for Bar Wrestling, which was an independent wrestling company in California. And of course, he had to leave the company because of that as well. And then the whole pandemic went by and nobody heard anything about Joey Ryan until this photo surfaced over here. This is former infamous dick wrestler Joey Ryan working at Disneyland. He was a cast member for the ride Jungle Cruise, okay? Now when I say cast member, I know that sounds very fancy, but that is what Disney World and Disneyland just calls their employees. These are cast members. So here's Joey Ryan in his little suit, okay? He's got his little safari outfit going on. He loves himself a gimmick, okay? So he was gonna fit right in. But then this picture made it to like his manager, and his manager found out who Joey Ryan was, and then he got fired from Disney. Now, I don't know how infamous sex pest got a job with Disney of all companies, but he did. He left the independent scene, he left bar wrestling, he made it to Impact, left Impact, he made it to Disneyland, and then they had to fire him from Disneyland, all because this guy is an infamous sex pest. And he's still trying to make a comeback. He's still out there. He's relatively active, but only active enough to keep himself scraping the bottom of the barrel, okay? Because this guy hit rock bottom, and this right here is rock bottom. Joey Ryan, who I say was never really that famous, was a part of one of the most historic independent wrestling events of all time. You'd think that he'd want to keep any memento that he can from that event. Any memory he can grasp onto that he was once cool, once great, and once beloved, okay? And this gear here is the gear that he wore on that night. You would think that this would be so special to him. He would treasure this gear forever. This would mean so much to him. But maybe not so much. Maybe he looks at this gear and goes, that was former me. That was back when I was famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan, and I'm not a famous dick wrestler anymore. But I think the fact that he's on here on Twitter trying to sell his gear, okay? He's not going to eBay. He's just going straight to Twitter and being like, hey, DM me if you want my crusty ass gear over here. And I don't think people are taking this too well, okay? This didn't really go viral or anything. And most people are like, I'll give you $1. Oh, this is, I don't want your crusties. Fuck no. Laughing emojis. This is the joke, right? Ew. So I don't think that this is really getting over a whole lot. And because I have this picture pulled up of Joey Ryan, Twitter is now suggesting this type of content down here to me. So I gotta get out of here as quickly as possible. Not that there's anything wrong with that kind of content. Please, if that's the content for you, gobble it up. It's just not what's normally on my timeline. But would you want to buy, like, a wrestler's used gear, especially Joey Ryan's? Maybe if it was like, I don't know, WrestleMania used gear of Roman Reigns, maybe I could see someone buying it. Or maybe it's like the gear that CM Punk bled all over in that famous dog collar match. I could see people maybe wanting that disgusting gear, even though it is disgusting, you know? That stuff like has historic value. And maybe this stuff has historic value because of the show that it was on, but because of the person that it was on, I don't think that it has a lot of value at all. He might be able to buy groceries for a week with what he gets for this, you know what I mean? And to sell something that could have been sentimental for your entire life for a week's worth of groceries is very sad, and in my opinion, evidence that Joey Ryan, former infamous dick wrestler, has hit rock bottom. So just imagine this, right? You're just like an independent artist. You're like a singer-songwriter. You have this one guitar and you love this guitar so very much or whatever. And then you get an opportunity to open for your favorite band ever, okay? And you go play that opening gig with that favorite band. And then you're like, okay, everybody knows me for this thing. Then you get in a lot of trouble. And then you try to sell that guitar that you played that show with. I think that clearly shows that you've hit rock bottom. And if we go to his Instagram, he's still trying to be, as of 15 weeks ago, big time sexy boy, okay? Now he's trying to be like, okay, I'm not like creepy sexy boy. I'm like legitimate hunk now. Look at me go over here, all right? Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm still going. And even this was 10 weeks ago, which was well past his expiration date, you know? But he's still going. Oh, he can be a mustache sexy man. So it seems like he's either trying to be like an actor, trying to put out these like acting things, but then he's coming back and doing wrestling events. Like this guy, you don't have a place in the world. Now I understand why he shared this, is because Lanny Poffo, RIP, but let's see what he's got cooking in his stories. Now I haven't gone through this. These are today's stories, so let's see. Oh my God. He's decided to sell more of his ring-worn wrestling gear. Oh, I'm glad I came over here. Oh my God. Yeah, this guy is hitting the bottom, all right? Now, I guess he has no more need for these wrestling gears anymore because he has no place in wrestling. But, oh my God, okay. That's so sad. But because you hurt a lot of people along the way, buddy, I can't feel too sad about it. And I think the only reason why anyone should buy any of these undie pants over here is to see where he put those lollipops in the middle of matches so that it didn't touch his actual crotch. There had to be like a little pocket in there somewhere. So this story of Joey Ryan should really serve as a cautionary tale. Just don't be a freaky weirdo, okay? It's not cool. All right, I'm gonna get out of here right now, but please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a couple pancakes down below if you enjoyed this video. Ring the bell if you're cool as hell, and until my next upload, you can watch another upload.